Hello and welcome back, YouTube. It's 10:22 a.m. Still Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. I'm right here in front of the Carnegie Library, which has been closed to the public for so many years. That whole park is fenced off, inaccessible. It's supposed to be a public facility and public property, but the public is prohibited from entering it. So how public is it really? So I'm headed to the zone, and it's looking pretty aggro over there. So I should probably stop this video pretty quick. Or maybe I can just keep it pointed at me. That should make things pretty obvious. But people get really crazy about being on camera down here, and I can't say I fully blame them. Wow, the density of the tents. So I'm walking south from Washington Street on 12th Avenue. I'm trying to head down to the Welcome Center because a couple months ago, when I was having such a struggle with losing so many of my my cards and stuff, I also lost my ID card for the Human Services campus, and it's I don't get the whole sidewalk blocked, both sidewalks blocked. The zone being cleaned up, it sure ain't cleaned up. I wish I could better shoot video of this, but with nothing but a selfie camera, it's just not doable. Wow. There's somebody actually using the sign that says this area is closed for public camping as part of his camping structure there. Ain't that something? Wow. Since the last time I was down here a couple months ago, the campsites here have gotten substantially bigger and more permanent looking, and more elaborate. There's way more junk here than there was. And you can hear there's generators. Those people have electricity via generators. So the city of Phoenix has until November 4th to have this all cleared away. I'm pretty doubtful they'll be able to accomplish it. Anyways, I was saying, when I lost all my cards, I lost my ID for the Human Services campus. I'm all done with the Phoenix City Court right now, so I got plenty of time till I need to be back at work. So, and I'll explain more about what happened in court today, because it's different than what I expected, but I think it's a very positive thing. But I'm thinking right now, since I'm down here, it'd be worth my while to replace my Human Services campus ID if I can, and perhaps even get lunch down here. All right, so it's still Tuesday. It's 11:35 a.m. and I'm at the corner of Madison and 11th Street. The police are rolling by. They're just kind of looking now. They're not doing anything. They don't really ever do anything. Something I didn't expect to see. There's a Circle of City outreach clinic truck or something there. Not quite sure what services they're offering, but it's nice to see them outside the walls of the Human Services campus. So they were able to replace my Human Services campus ID, and I didn't have to wait too awful long for that. At one point, somebody popped out the door of the Welcome Center, and I told her what I needed, and I told her I still had that I had my driver's license, because I thought they might want to see more ID than that. And I guess I should know that's not necessary here. I mean, certainly didn't need it to get it initially. But yeah, she just had me write down my name and my birth date. But yeah, I'm sure she, looked at the picture of me before she reprinted it and handed it to me. It's like, yeah, that's that guy. I have a pretty good picture on that card, by the way. Gosh, that's something. I hope the video's catching that. It's just kind of sad. I feel bad for whoever this property owner is here. I mean, I hate that somebody's just sitting there camping on this property and leaving it empty like this, but I feel bad for them that there's so many people just throwing garbage over the fence and just littering the lot like that. That's pretty disgusting. I was glad to see the security guard that I saw there while I was waiting to get my ID to get back into the Human Resource campus. He was a guy who had been actually forthcoming and helpful with me about letting me know like when and where he had seen my daughter going in and out of there when everybody else was very tight-lipped. And I suppose people are supposed to be tight-lipped, but I think he recognized me as somebody who was also using services in the human resource campus, and I think he had seen us together and knew that she was in fact my daughter. That helped a lot. So I kind of gave him an update on her and how she made it into a residential treatment plan, and apparently he's cleaned up and seems to be doing good. We're talking about the difference between well, at first I said she was in Portland, and I'm like, oh no, she's in Beaverton. So it kind of makes a difference, especially when you're trying to say clean off substances. And he sort of laughed. I said, well, and I gave it as an analogy, being in Phoenix versus being in Gilbert. It's like, yeah, if you're addicted to fentanyl, probably being in Central Phoenix is not going to be helpful for you. But if you're in Gilbert, kind of a different situation, and got a bit of a chuckle out of that. He seemed to think that was on point. So, but good seeing him again. And to be honest, I didn't really see any other familiar faces down in the zone today. But I got an okay meal from Vincent de Paul. Not the best food I've got from lunch from them, but you know what? I'm appreciative of free lunch. Now, they were giving these big sealed, well, actually, there's no word about it. They did give out big sealed Ziploc bags, and the good quality Ziploc bags, like the freezer bag types, full quite a bit of what seemed like off-brand stale crunchy Cheetos. Yeah, I don't even like name brand crunchy Cheetos when they're fresh. So I nibbled on a couple, and don't get me wrong, like if I was legit hungry, like not getting food hungry, even the days when I was still homeless, I would have probably took it. I wouldn't have enjoyed them, but you know what? It's still calories, it's still sustenance. I'll take it, thank you. But I went ahead and took it with the rest of my meal, ate my hot meal, and the guy who was sitting to my right at my table, and I don't think I spoke a word to anybody at my table, honestly. I had my earbuds in and was working on editing the next chapter of my vlog, and I just realized I am not walking in the right direction for wanting to get on the light rail. First, the question is, do I really want to get on the light rail, or should I be heading in a different direction? So my car is still over at the park and ride. I got quite a bit of hang time between now and when I need to be to work. I want to go over to my mental health clinic, touch base with my case manager if I can, and especially considering what happened at court today, which I'll explain later. I swear I'll get to it. And I want to get my bus card, because I haven't swiped the one for my daughter, so it's possible I might get through the day without actually having to swipe it. I don't know. There's always that big inconvenience when security comes up on the light rail. They're like, well, you need to get out and punch it right now. I'm like, come on now. And to be fair, I have finally figured out how to use those machines, but I'm just not very trusting of them, and I'd rather save it, if at all possible, to swipe when I get on a bus. But yeah, it's just a day pass. Yeah, if I can make it through the day without using the day pass and still have it, that'd be great. And I'd really like to get over to the clinic and get that. And I'm thinking the best thing to do, just to try to keep myself tight and to save resources, would be best, rather than going all the way to my car and then burning all the gas go across town. While I'm here and as accessible as the clinic is from light rail, I think it'd be good to just head on up to the light rail, take the train, go to my clinic, and then take the train back to my car. From then I might just go straight to work. I do need to go back to my car before I go to work, because my hat and my vest and my knife, because I knew there was no way I'd be able to bring my knife into the courthouse, and my 2 paint pens are in there. So yeah, that's important. Speaking of the hat, so I got the hat for my daughter Allison, I did a little video where I mentioned quite a bit about the hat. And I've kind of become synonymous with the hat around the rental car center. Like, that's how people recognize me and identify me at a distance. Like, oh, that's Dan. He's working, which is good. I mean, with the exception of Jesse, all the supervisors leave me alone because they see me and they see the hat moving and they know I'm working. In fact, it was excellent working with the two supervisors last night, or I should say the three that I worked with. The one at one point did kind of look at me funny when I was going through the inside, but honestly, I just went in to get some water. But yeah, I might have given her pause a little bit because I did. I was. After making such a stink about smartphone use in the shag with Jesse, and it wasn't about smartphone use as much as it was about that he stopped working and pulled over the car and was playing with configuring Bluetooth or Apple Play or whatever the hell it was, trying to get music come through the car stereo when we had work to do. I mean, you know, you want to listen to something on your earbuds while riding in the shag. I don't see an issue with that. But I mean, sometimes I put my earbuds in to work on editing my vlog. But I was bothered by the fact that we're supposedly so busy and there's stuff I need to be doing. So I'm riding within the shag as opposed to walking because we need to go get the stuff. But he's not going anywhere in the shag. He's just stopped back end of a parking lot, messing around with features of the car that I don't see any reason anybody's supposed to be using them. Yeah, she did kind of give me a look when she saw I was, and I don't recall what I was doing on my phone. I think I was responding to somebody on Snapchat. I'm still pretty actively on Snapchat. I suppose now would be the logical time for me to talk about what happened in court. I'm still not quite wrapping my head around it though. Anything else to mention about the Human Services campus? Not really. I always see some women down there I find attractive. I had a couple of attractive women that were sitting by me while I was sitting working on on editing my last video, which unfortunately I didn't have enough space on my phone to export. And it's not like I'm gonna sit there long enough for, I deleted everything and offloaded everything I could possibly do from my phone. There's no making more space. The only way there's gonna be more space is when I spend enough time on Wi-Fi for stuff that's on it to get sucked up into the iCloud and then take space off of it. And of course, shooting this video is just making that much less space. So I might not get that segment posted until after work, which sucks. And yeah, I'm just getting more and more behind on posting that stuff at this point. I'm over 6 weeks behind. Ooh, that's quite the ouch dent on the front of that Nissan. And that's kind of a bummer, but whatever. I mean, obviously my bigger priority was being at court. Wow, this is such a cool building on the left here. I like that style of storefront, the cast cement false front there. Oh, I can see right through that top of that door and see that there is just literally no roof on this structure. Maybe they'll restore it. The question is if it's designated historic or not. Across the street. Not sure how, I never know what the video is catching. Because right now I look at my screen, I can't really see it. I'm shooting with the selfie camera because the main camera is still shot on my iPhone. And there's just, the sun is so bright right now when I look at the screen. I don't see what I'm shooting, I just see the reflection of the sun. But yeah, it's Fox 10's. Other side of Fox 10 Studios there. Usually when I walk by Fox 10 and I catch it in my vlog, I'm walking along Washington Street. So I'm walking along Adams right now. I rarely walk along Adams, so honestly, this is a stretch I haven't walked in a long time. It's kind of surprised to see the way they've changed the bike lanes. And kind of weird the little space they've made on the side there with those curbs and the white paint. Almost looks like it could be designated scooter parking, but there's no scooters there. Every time I'm down at the Human Services campus, I'm just reminded of how every time I've been homeless for an extended period of time, I've always ended up meeting and connecting with a woman and having a pretty awesome relationship that it has always not only been an awesome relationship, but it's been a very sexual relationship. And thinking, God, if I was down that far, I would be spending enough time and be connected enough that would probably just be happening organically. But since I'm not, it's not. And it's kind of a fluke that I'm down there, because at this point I'm at a place, financially and everything else, where it's what it would cost me to get down here in terms of time and fuel and effort. It is not worth the free meal that I get here. It's not worth the free meal that I get here, especially considering that I have not only the means to get my own food at value, but I still have a pretty decent balance on my EBT card. Well, this is kind of neat. They got new signs on the not sure if I'm catching it or not. There it is, on the sidewalk, to indicate the scooter parking. And of course it's a decal on the sidewalks. You see it's already getting pretty torn up, and it looks old, but I assure you that's new. It's the first time I've seen one of those. And here we have a street that's got red curbs on it and is all designated no parking. You can see from the poles here that there were parking meters here. There's space for parking, but for whatever reason, the city of Phoenix has decided to deny Phoenicians on-street parking on this block. Yeah, I really can't make sense out of what the city of Phoenix is doing with their parking these days. Maybe it's just to try to get giant no parking signs here. And maybe it's just to get people to use these giant city-owned parking garages, but parking garages is expensive, difficult parking. Sometimes I just want to park on the side of the street and go where I got to go and then back out, but less and less on-street parking in downtown Phoenix as they do like they did here on this street for no apparent reason. I mean, it's one thing if they're repurposing the lane into a bike lane, or if they're changing it to green space, but I mean, as you can see, the parking lane is still there. The poles for the parking meters are still there, but they've added no parking signs to it and red paint to the curb. I don't know, seems nonsensical for me. Just say if I ran the city, things would be run a lot differently. Am I qualified to? No, probably not. There's certainly a lot of things I look at that I know on those individual things I could do better. So I just got my 10% power warning on my phone. That's kind of a game changer on my destination. Yeah, I don't think I want to go through my whole day at work struggling to keep power on my iPhone. Although I will be in shag almost all day today, so and of course, for the snow parking, it seems like tour buses and vehicles that obviously have some kind of connection to something, it's that V on the side, they're exempt from it. I don't understand how that works, but I wonder if they got a permit on the front here. It looks like they got some kind of special permit posted in the front. I don't know if my video caught that, but kind of special permit posted in their windshield. So we're allowed to park in designated no parking, red painted curbs. Yeah. The city of Phoenix is just all about money. You got money to operate a big old tour bus like that thing behind me, the city will accommodate you, pay for the permit. And with parking space that was available for just regular citizens before, it's been eliminated for the people before those extensive parking permits. And now I'm getting into the part of downtown Phoenix that actually has some foot traffic and some restaurants with patios and stuff. Oh, Adam's Table. I wonder if Adam knows about Adam's Table. Should shoot him a comment about that. I notice he's been posting more videos wandering around downtown. Of course, there's people that are actually offering him jobs in his comment sections, and he leaves those comments alone and has never answered my question as whether or not he has a driver's license. Because I know if he's got a valid driver's license, I could get him a job at MLS. Pretty sure. But yeah, now I realize I'm going to be in a shag all day because I'm going to be riding with, today I'm going to be riding with, one of the 2 days a week that I ride with Steve. I think it's all right. Let this battery get low. I don't know that I got enough battery to really talk about what happened in court today. I guess I could give a big summary of it, or a short summary of it, and go into more detail later. My attorney, James Tinker, had more thoroughly reviewed my stuff and the information I gave him. And now, one thing he was definitely waiting for was to see if any of the Costco people showed up as witnesses. He said that if they didn't show up, we'd just go to trial. It'd be slam dunk because the cop really can't testify to anything. The cops didn't witness anything. They just took statements, wrote a really biased and mostly false police report, and that that's worth nothing. But the security guard, who was much fatter than I remembered him being, did show up. There's the train I want, and it looks like I'm too late to catch it. Yeah, those doors are definitely already closed. Damn it. Yeah, I'm feeling less and less motivated now. Now that I know that I just, close enough I can literally touch it, but can't get on it, miss the train. Literally missed the train by that much. Storylines, a Valley Metro podcast. Wonder what that's about. Of course, if it was at all realistic, it'd be stories about people having encounters with crazy people on transit, and homeless, aggressive people and whatnot, but I'm sure it's a podcast to try to make transit sound like a wonderful, great, safe experience. Anybody who's rode that light rail knows about it. So, a woman just walked past me and was absolutely stunning. Wow. Yeah, I think I'm just getting back to my car and head home. I was really tempted to go on up to get my transit pass for my clinic, but knowing that I missed that, and I'm looking at probably 15 minutes until I can, 15 minutes until I can get on another train. The station's in the process of getting built. Don't wait. This station's currently under construction. Yeah, no shit. And of course, this is the line that the funding has been withdrawn from. It's supposed to be going towards the Capitol. So God knows what the future of the station is. And again, I've said it many times, I feel that line is just completely unnecessary because we've already got the Dash bus that goes there. So why spend millions upon millions of dollars building this infrastructure for something when we could spend probably hundreds of dollars and more, well, actually it'd be thousands of dollars if you make the proper stops and stuff from it, but still, thousands at most, tens of thousands of dollars to reroute and reschedule the and build nicer stops for the Dash and accomplish the same goal. But the people who plan these projects, they're not frugal with their money because it's not their money. They don't really think about it, and they have no real accountability for how they spend their money. So that's how that is. Well, I end up doing a bunch of extra walking. Nah, just knowing that I missed that thought of sitting there or that train, thought of sitting there till the next one is not appealing, especially knowing my iPhone's about to die. So I want to head back to my car where I can get some juice into it. I was trying to explain what happened with my case today, and I didn't really get into it at all. So the security guard was there, much fatter than I remember him being. My attorney went and talked to him briefly and came back and said, yeah, that guy does have an attitude. He's very aggressive. And I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not. I feel like my attorney, now that I finally had some time to sit down with him and talk with him, I feel like he gets me and understands where he's coming from. But on the same token, he's giving me oh, wow, look at this. So I was talking about, in some of my other vlogs, ones that I'm just now posting, which of course, is probably going to be a couple months till this gets posted, maybe longer. But talking about and doing several deliveries, pizza deliveries to the old Holiday Inn on Van Buren, and there's some historic photos at this particular light rail station, and I just noticed right there is a picture of that Holiday Inn sign from Van Buren. So pretty darn sure that was the one there on Van Buren and 24th Street. So, and always fun to see stuff showing history of radio. KFIN is not one I'm familiar with, but it looks like it was a Spanish station. So not as familiar with the history of Spanish radio as I am radio in general here in Phoenix. But nice to see some representation of a station other than KTAR and KOY. As much as I'm a fan of KTAR and KOY, it's not like those are the only two stations in the history of Phoenix. I would like to see more representation of KZZP, though. I feel like KZZP is something people have forgotten about. In spite of the fact that KISS FM, I think, still has those call letters. We've got some good music playing over here. So I'm not doing too good at explaining what happened in court. So yeah, I was really hoping that the state witnesses wouldn't show up, because that would simplify things a whole lot. Then we could just insist on the trial, and a judge could throw it out because the state wouldn't be able to make their case without those witnesses. But this one person who apparently one of the rocks that I threw trying to defend myself against the fat, angry security guard, one of the rocks hit this guy. I was given a pretty lengthy legal explanation as to how, even if we could justify what happened with the security guard as self-defense, he said it was kind of like, he said it would be kind of a crapshoot on that it would be looked upon not as from a statutory point, it would be looked at not as necessary self-defense, because I did have an escape. I could have just simply ran away, and that comes into a question of castle doctrine versus right to retreat, or I'm trying to sure if I'm using the right, like, the concepts are clear in my head, it's hard to articulate, but you got your castle doctrine, stand your ground doctrine, which I don't even think would apply, because it's not my home. It's not even my domicile. My scooter, debatable. I did prepay for it. I'd already paid for the use of it. I'm trying to stand my ground on the scooter. But yeah, there's a lot of that duty to retreat kind of thing before you can use any kind of self-defense. But I don't know. He says real crapshoot. He said the problem I would really have in a trial would be that the other guy that it was a definite act of throwing the rocks, and since he was there, collateral damage, something that he figured that even if I did beat the other, he said I felt he had about a 40% chance of beating the assault charge against the guy who came at me, the fat guy who came at me with the pepper spray, but he said I didn't think I had any chance of beating the other charge, which was added after the fact. So, and I think that he was there to testify. Younger guy. Anyway, I'm hoping they felt like they wasted their time today, and I hope it was a very difficult, awkward situation for them to come down, and that they'll not want to do it. So, James Tinker was unaware. My attorney was unaware of how much mental health was an issue for me. And here comes my train. Anyway, long story short, I've got another court date set for about 3 weeks from now, and I've been referred to the mental health court. They've got another name for it, but it's colloquially referred to as the mental health court. And they offer programs and assistance and stuff that will possibly be helpful for me. So, and maybe force the clinic to provide stuff for me that they're not really providing for me. So maybe there'll be there's a silver lining in this situation that I just didn't see.